Time for today's Power Play, our new weekly segment highlighting all things energy. And your next guest runs a company that should be on your radar. And by the way, it has been for many traders. Eos Energy more than doubled in 6 months. It is a New Jersey-based company. They make batteries and other storage solutions. One of those is a plug and power all-in-one system. Oh, and by the way, most of their products made right here in America, Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania, hard on the edge of Pittsburgh, PA. Joe Mastrangelo is CEO of Eos Energy, and he joins us now. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brian.
You have a battery backup at that Microsoft site?
Hey, I think following an AI story, that's going to be the big demand driver for storage as we look forward. Like, we need an all-in energy strategy, and storage plays a role in helping meet the peaks of demand.
But like that, you know what I mean? Like that facility right there would be the perfect customer for Eos because that's what you do, right?
Exactly.
So explain how the battery backups work.
So what we do is we allow shifting supply to meet demand. So we could do anything from a 2-hour discharge up to a 16-hour discharge. So it gives people the flexibility to ensure that they always have power when they need it. So when you think about one of these data centers, you can have fluctuations in power demand up to 50%, depending on what they're doing. Our system allows you to meet those fluctuations while the rest of the grid continues to deliver without disruption.
So let's assume during the day, everybody's on their devices, they're asking queries of ChatGPT, whatever the hell they're doing, right?
Yep.
And then at night, the demand for power will go down. You're accumulating power during the evening.
Right.
So that they can use more and supplement more peak times during the day.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is make the grid more efficient, use the assets more so that we can have more reliable power when we need it.
The president, the current president, the old president signed a deal, the Inflation Reduction Act, Build Back Better, basically, that had a bunch of incentives for quote-unquote new energy. I hate that term because the sun and wind.
Me too. We're an energy company.
By the way, the sun and wind have been around for a long time.
Right.
So there's that. The new president has removed a lot of those tax incentives. How does that impact your business?
For energy storage, remained essentially unchanged for us. I think the other underlying fundamental for us is that, as you said, like 91% of the materials that go in our product come right from the USA. We build it all in the USA. We don't take
tariffed.
We're not tariffed, and the 9% that we're not doing in the USA, we're working to get to 100%. We started this journey in the last Trump administration, and we've just kept working with all the local people to build up a supply chain.
But I'm told by many people, and I'm in Wisconsin all the time. I was just in Pittsburgh. That you can't build anything in America.
Not true. Not true. We still can build stuff. We still want to work. Like, we started off 6 years ago. Last week, we brought our first piece of equipment back from China to start manufacturing in Turtle Creek. It was 2 employees, myself, and a dumpster cleaning out an old building. Today, we stand at 700 employees. Every employee in Eos has stock in the company. They come in every day wanting to prove to people we could still invent, source, and build things in America for our future.
Wow. And you used to work at GE, by the way. I'm told in the audit department, we'll talk off camera about, some of my colleagues when GE owned NBC. That's a different interview. What's your cost difference between China and the U.S. all in? Roughly.
That's why we moved. That's why when I joined the company 7 years ago, we moved the manufacturing back from China because the landed cost was more competitive in the United States. And doing that, like, we got in a Taurus and drove around what we would call the Rust Belt and found a bunch of suppliers that wanted to prove we could still build things in the U.S. Wisconsin, our equipment for the factory comes from Wisconsin, was built in Wisconsin. So this is a product like invented with American minds, using American materials and built with American hands. We could still do things in this country.
I do a lot with energy. I do a lot with oil and gas. And so some people are like, well, you must hate this. And I don't hate anything. Batteries are going to be a huge part of our resource and energy base for years and decades to come. How much growth is there realistically on the battery side, managing energy flow, as you would say?
Look, I think there's going to be tremendous growth. So I spent half my career in the oil and gas industry. I didn't even know that. What we tried to do, I ran a turbo machinery business for 8 years. What we came about is we said, we're an energy company. We want to build the reliability that you expect in energy, and we want that power to be there when you need it. So there's going to be growth here because what you're talking about is taking a gas turbine that's utilized probably 50, 60% of the time at its maximum efficiency. Our product allows you to run that gas turbine at a higher level of efficiency. So yes.
Because they take the power that may not be going to the data center, put it into your batteries,
right.
or to the grid.
Store it.
They put it into your batteries.
Right. Think about a parking lot on the highway when there's traffic. We take the electrons off the grid, park it for a little while, and put it back on when it frees up and there's demand for it. To keep the grid in balance.
I love that. You have 2 sandwiches. You only need one. You eat one. You put the other one in the fridge because you're going to have it later.
Exactly.
That's basically what you're doing with power.
Right. Yes. And like when you think about the company, we're spending a lot of time talking about the battery and the power demands of AI. There's energy for AI, and then there's AI for energy. So when you look at what we've done, very simple product, packaged safely, non-flammable, non-toxic, fully recyclable. And we surround that with software that's designed and built in America, and we hold the data here in the United States. So that critical security for the grid is provided by our solution.
Joe Mastrangelo, Eos Energy, the ticker EOSE. It's doubled in 6 months, and it makes me happy to hear that a lot of your employees are also going to benefit from that run.
Yes.
Joe, appreciate that.
Thanks, Brian.